Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I'm very bad with with makeup. I mean, I'm one of those people or women who I don't wear makeup in my daily life. And so on camera, I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this to my audience. They have to like not be subjected to my face. So I take my finger and like as you can see, like I just use my finger and my hands, and I don't have brushes and stuff, and I just, so voilà. Okay, too much information. So today I wanted to talk about Meghan Markle and whether she is manipulative and whether she manipulated Harry in any way. I mean, I saw this question on Quora. Um, Imagine, I don't know how people say that. I say Quora. Um, and it was, is she manipulative? And I thought that was very interesting, that question. And the answers were, wow, you can well imagine. And on the blog that advises for Meghan and Harry, but it's actually Meghan and Harry Advisors blogspot.com. That's the name of my blog. Meghan and Harry Advisors blogspot.com. So on the blog, I recently did a post, is Meghan Markle manipulative? And this was inspired by some things I read on Quora. And one of the people who responded just left such a, I think, well, many of the people just left such awful answers to that question that I don't think it's worth repeating their opinions. I mean, you can read it for yourself in Quora. But for me, I think there are three principal reasons why people might accuse her of being manipulative, because women are quite often accused in general of being manipulative, even though studies show that at least in some circumstances, men are infinitely more manipulative than women, especially, I guess, in more professional circumstances at work where men need to excel, they need to win, they need to be top dog. They are just naturally more inclined to be manipulative. But in relationships, like emotional manipulation in relationships, quite often women, are quite often blamed more for that trait. And they use their feminine wiles and their charm and their soft sort of influence, I suppose, to get their men, their husbands, their boyfriends, their fathers to do what they want. And so it's not a big unusual thing. I mean, that people think this woman must have manipulated her husband because, first of all, he married her, right? Then she got him to, quote unquote, leave his family and move with her to California, and third, to start a family, to start having babies right away. So I mean, he must have been manipulated. And what do I think about that? I mean, I think that in a relationship, women and men play different roles. And I think that, you're going to talk with your husband, and a husband is going to talk with his wife. And, there are going to be situations where you're going to discuss together what are you going to do about certain situations. And, you want each other to be happy. You want to have a happy marriage. And sometimes that's going to mean that if one spouse is unhappy and whatever is the source of that unhappiness, that the other spouse may be persuaded to take certain action to sort of protect the happiness of or the emotional well-being of their spouse, their significant other. In this case, Harry married Meghan, so she must have been manipulative because they're from such different worlds and different class and different backgrounds and countries and quote unquote race, whatever that even means. This is a construct. What does that even mean? And so she must have done something to, something nefarious to influence him to marry her in the first place. Because why would he marry her unless he was manipulated? I don't happen to share that kind of world view. I think he married her because he fell in love. It's really that simple. I remember at the time when he had fallen in love with her before he had revealed to the world that he was in love. He was literally bouncing, or in public, in his public appearances. You could see that this guy is very, very happy, and you're like, Why is he so happy? Because he's in love. That's how we all are. We're giddy when we're in love. Why did he fall in love with her? I mean, I don't think most people can answer that question when they just fall helplessly in love with somebody. It's just, I don't know. I just love him. I just love her. She just loves him. Yeah, it's just a chemical reaction to someone. He just loves her. A woman can do everything in her power to manipulate a man to love her and to marry her. But if he doesn't love her, he will not love her no matter what she does. A woman cannot do anything at all. She exists, and a man just loves her. Love is a very sort of, mysterious and almost irrational thing. Meghan does not have the power to manipulate Harry into loving her. So if Harry loves her, he just loves her. I think my necklace is upside down. What do you think? I think it's upside down. I'm like looking at myself and I'm like, oh my God, your necklace is upside down, but I can't even deal. So that's one thing. The other thing with the moving to California and manipulating your husband, I mean, look, let's put it this way. If I'm in a situation with my husband, and I don't have a husband, thank God for men, right? And I mean, all men should thank God. And I'm in the situation and I'm living among your friends or your family or whomever, right? And I am feeling unhappy for any reason. I'm feeling uncomfortable for any reason. Especially in the beginning of our marriage, and I'm crying and I am just sad and dissatisfied, not fitting in for whatever reason, whether it's my fault or their fault. Um, I would want my husband to be very, very sensitive to that. And if he felt the same way, let's say that we were with my family and he felt the same way, then I would want to remove us together as a couple, as a unit, from that environment, from that situation, because I would put our relationship first, and I would hope that he would put our relationship first as well, to protect the integrity of our union, of our marital union. Marriage is a marital contract between these two people, not between us and your family and your friends and your whatever. Now, ideally, I think that if if we can all get along and if everybody gets along and it's a Kardashian type of a clan, etc., etc., it's the best. It's the best scenario. But I think in many instances, that's just not the case. People don't always get along with their in laws, and in laws can lead a marriage to its demise because of the conflict that can occur. And I don't think Harry and Meghan are the first couple who have had to put some distance between themselves and the in laws and the family in order to bond that relationship and to build that relationship and to protect that relationship. Now, if for you that's manipulation, I mean, I think that you have the right to your opinions, but I don't personally call that manipulation. I call that putting our relationship first. It's me and you. We have this marital contract. I want you to be happy. You want me to be happy. We want each other to be happy. We want a happy, harmonious, and tranquil home. And the environment in which we are now is not conducive to that. Therefore, together we decide that we're going to try something else. I'm all for that for any couple, whether they're in the royal family or not. And I don't think it's fair to brand Meghan a manipulation on that basis. And the third thing that I think some people are saying that she was manipulative about was because she right away she had babies, so as I guess to trap her husband. Why else do you get married? I mean, you get married to have babies. Otherwise, you don't. What do you need to get married for if you're not going to have babies? Just be single like me without headaches and problems, right? I have no headaches and problems in that department because I'm not married with babies. But once you're married, babies are a natural part of that. Marriage was made to have babies. So this idea that Meghan manipulated her husband, I'm sure Harry enjoyed every minute of that process. Okay, so voila. I'm not into this nonsense. She did not manipulate her husband. She's a woman, like we all are, those of us who are. Whatever, now I know this is a controversial term, actually, isn't it? Well, my definition of a woman, whatever that is, she is that. She's a woman, and she has a husband, and they have a couple that they have to protect, and they are a unit, and they move together, and it's quite normal, and we don't have to reduce it to its least common denominator and throw these accusations at this woman when we all know as women that, in those of us who are, that in the same situation we would do the very same thing to protect our union. So yeah, that's it for this one. I see I have 13 followers as of today. I'm like, yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate every last one of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's a lot. Okay, that's a lot of human beings. Thank you very much. And see you in the next one. Bye.